Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're playing Kaisa against Sett. I think Kaisa is one of the strongest legends you can play at the moment. Her ability is really awesome. You are allowed to instead of recycle a rune for a spell, you can tap her and use her as like a recycling, which is really amazing. So for example, for smoke screen, you can see right now you don't pay any recycling costs, which is really amazing for a character like this. As you can see, our starting hand is also pretty nice. We have a lot of low drops we can play out right at the beginning. So we're starting with the Ravenblown Student. My idea here will be to put the Ravenblown Student on the left side to give her ganking and maybe later on remove characters on the right side. So I will give my opponent the right side of the field, which is maybe not the best thing to do, but I don't want to give my opponent any ganking. Ganking ability, especially with his Zed out, which could get I think 7 or 8 combat strength, which would be pretty bad for us, and he would be able with a gank to remove a lot of our characters. So I'll just conquer this part. I will save up 2 runes for later on. Maybe my opponent will not even try to conquer on the right side and will try to right attack on the left side, so I will just be sure to have like a smoke screen left in my pocket to be able to remove that. But as you can see, my opponent will probably go to the right side, conquer here. When he defends, he can choose a character there, and the character gets +2 while it's defending, which is really good. As you can see, I could use my smoke screen here, but it wouldn't make a lot of sense, so I will just pass the response here. And yeah, I think the Sett matchup is one of the hardest matchups for Kaisa, because you have to be able to remove a character twice in a turn to be able to remove it entirely. And this is sometimes really hard, but I think at this match, spoiler alert, was able to secure the victory by that. So as you can see, I also have the Sprite Mother in my hand. My idea here will be to play out the Sprite Mother or maybe the Kaisa, but I will definitely think I will go for the Sprite Mother here. I will create a token and I will be able to attack with the Ravenblown Student and with the token at the same time. Because first of all, my Ravenblown Student has ganking because it's in the location, in the battlefield I mean. And the other thing here is Sprite Mother creates a token that has 3/3 and enters ready. So we'll be able to do that and have enough runes left to play out smoke screen when he tries to maybe buff his character in my turn, because he also doesn't have any runes left, but there are some cards in Sett's deck that allow you to take out a buff from your character and give another character or the character +3 attack. So this would be a really good thing for him, and he would be able to remove both of my characters if I'm greedy enough to do that. So as you can see, I will just enter with both of them in. He will have to answer that, and he will answer that. First of all, we get +4 shield, which is not a big deal for us because our token would survive here at the end, because he will attack his Ravenblown Student. But with so much cards in my hand, I knew he had Call to Glory, and he will remove the buff of his Zed, give his character +3, and I will counter that with Smokescreen. So as you can see, I'm tapping my Kaisa, I'm using Smokescreen, bringing her down to 1, and with the buff she's again at 4, so she will be able to remove the Ravenblown Student here. Of course, my opponent next turn could attack the ganking battlefield on the left side, but I think he wants his characters to have shield too, and Also, removing the Watchful Sorcery is also not really doable with his other character. I don't know why it got like 2 attack. I'm not really sure about that. I don't think this is right. But if he would play out another character, he could conquer both, and I would have a really big problem here. Now he's playing Showstopper, giving his Sett another buff. I think he did a little mistake here. He could have gone to the left side, remove my Watchful Sentry, and then gank onto the right battlefield, which could have been a massive power play. I think this was like a small mistake by him. But it's not that big of a deal because his Sett will conquer here, he will get a buff, and he will be able to remove my Watchful Sentry with his low-cost character. And if that's not enough, he will also be able to remove my Sprite Mother by another trick he has in his sleeve. With Challenge, my Sprite Mother will also be removed by his Sett here, and now we have like a big problem. Of course, we have Watchful Sentry in our hand, which is really good, and we also have our Darius, but I will wait for that. I will just play out my Kaisa for first, and we'll remove the character on the left side here, because as you can see, the left side character doesn't have any buffs. I will remove that. Also, with one card in his hand, he doesn't have a lot of answers right now, so I'll just be able to remove that. Draw another card, which is really good for Kaisa here. And yeah, with that, I will just pass my turn, because I know I won't be able to remove his Sett this turn, and if I'm able to remove it, he will just recycle and go in again and get another buff, and yeah, nothing changed. We lost the card, he conquered again, and that's not really good. Now here comes the fun thing here. He uses his buff, he has another Showstopper in his hand, and he will be able to remove Kaisa again, sadly, but not big of a deal because our hand is just full of traps and full of potential threats for his Sett. And as I mentioned before, removing Sett twice in this match in one turn is the key to success, I think. I think it's one of the hardest things to do, but with Kaisa's ability to always tap her instead of recycling a card for a spell, really helps me to get to the runes I need to finish off a character twice. As you can see, I will be at 8 runes, which will give me the possibility to play out Darius, to play out the Guillotine, and to play out the Falling Star to end the game. Not entirely end the game, but you know what I mean by that. I could also go for the 1000, but I wouldn't have enough runes to afterwards use my Falling Star. So as you can see, I'll play out my Darius here. If Darius is played as a second card, he enters ready, and it's also like if he's the first card. So after I play a second card, as you can see, I'm giving him Assault 3 right now. With the Cleave, which is really strong at this point. So now he's like at 10 when attacking. He won't be able to buff his Sett with one card in his hand with 2 runes left. Will be really hard for him. He has to give up his buff here, and now I'm able to remove him with the falling star. Also, again, I'm using the ability of Kaisa. I think using it every turn is so strong. And yeah, that's it for his Sett. Now he has like a big problem here, because next turn I will go to 6, be able to play out another character, go to 7, and there will be no time left to come back out of this game. He's playing out another Poro. I'll just play out my Kaisa and not my Watcher, just because I want to draw another card here, secure victory here. And yeah, that's basically it. I think my opponent will surrender after this. I could play out the falling star here, but I will not, because if he has another character, like if he has another Sett and another showstopper, I will be able to remove that too. So I will just let him alive, and I think after that my opponent has no other chance to surrender, and I think that's it. Yes. If you guys liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, and see you guys soon. Bye.